Looks like
Hey,
we're
we
live.
are live. Hi, and welcome to Marketing Reef. I'm your host, Karen Bartle, and this is a show where we bring some featured guests to talk to you about some special stuff that helps you to grow your business. Today, we're talking about websites, of all things. You can't go anywhere without knowing about websites these days, but do you need them for your business? And if you do, what should you do? How should you do it? Why should you do it? So we're going to talk of those things today. So I've got some special guests joining me today, of course. So I'll bring you in, Doyle, first. Doyle Bueller. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Well, tell us where you are today.
I'm actually in Sydney and Martin Place. I was just actually in a meeting at Zoom headquarters here on Castlereagh in Sydney. So I got a nice little tour of the Zoom.us facilities and their webinar
Beautiful.
rooms and all that. So yeah, it's a
Stunning.
fun little place. So
Look at you.
yeah. So
Tell people what you do, Doyle, just in case they don't know you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm the author of the book called Breakthrough, Unleash Your Remarkable Brand Value, Influence, and Authority, and it's about digital strategy, creating a digital strategy and business with impact around the world. So that's what I do. I talk with a lot of businesses about how they can organize their digital ecosystem, so including websites, including content and all that stuff, and how they can sort of create the greatest impact for the least effort.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'll bring in Beck, Waterhouse. Hello, Beck. Tell us where you are, what you do.
Hi, I am Beck Waterhouse from Beck Waterhouse Media. I am a web designer and a content marketer. I work with women in small business to help them find their tribe and increase their visibility.
Stunning. Beautiful. Welcome to the show today.
I'm also from Brisbane. I forgot to say that.
From beautiful Brisbane, of course. And last but not least, Ash, tell us about you and where you are.
Thanks, Karen. I'm based in Brisbane. I run a company called as Knowledge Partner Professionals. I'm trying to rebrand it to KP Pro, a shorter form of it. KP Pro, which is still Knowledge Partner Professionals. We help small and micro businesses to get on the online world and create a digital platform. So it could be in the form of a website, a mobile app, or a digital marketing service. So that's what we do for a living. And
Awesome.
the company has been in operations for the last 3 years.
Good job. So we all know a little bit about websites today, right?
Just a little bit.
So that's awesome. That's why you're here. That's why I invited some great guests to the show to talk to us about this, because I get asked a lot of questions. I deal and work with a lot of people changing careers, starting new businesses, and the first thing they ask me is, Karen, do I really need a website? Do I need a website? And that is one of the most common questions I've also seen around social media. So I'm going to kick off with that one. We're all in the game of creating websites and helping people to build websites, right? So when somebody says that to you, what's your answer? What's your ready-made answer in terms of why they need a website for their business?
Anybody want to start controversial and say, no, you don't need a website. But you do have to have a location, a common location that you can direct people to. So, I mean, you look at it from a platform perspective, and there are obviously a lot of platforms out there, LinkedIn, Facebook, even Shopify and that sort of thing. So do you need a personal website? Not necessarily. Only if you're planning on sort of directing business towards that site. So, and then obviously there's some stuff that we can get into later, but I'm going to start off and say, no, you don't need a website. Websites, I believe, will be gone within the next 5 years as we currently know them.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yes. I would disagree with that a bit. Sorry, Dad.
That's all right. We like debate.
Yeah. Go ahead. The discussion's for it.
I think people I meet, they normally have the same question to me. Do I really need a website? Because I'm still doing business with other people, other businesses. Now, the answer is, even if you make a one-page website which talks about your services and a contact us page, that should be good enough. Because if I have to do business with, say, for example, Doyle, and I don't know him, the first thing I will do is go on to a website and Google it and go on to see his website. If not a website, at least a Facebook page. If I don't find these two, I would not even call him up unless he comes from a reference. So that is how important the website is.
There's got to be some visibility
there.
I tend
to agree with that, yeah. I think when you're starting out, you probably don't need a bells and whistles type website. You probably just need something really simple, but you need something that shows people that you are serious about your business, that here's the information about me, here's what I know. And I think that comes into the content as well. I mean, because your website is just part of your strategy. You've got your socials, you've got, everything else you're doing, excuse me. But really, you should be bringing them back to something that you own, that you have ownership of, that you have backups of, that you can keep, because you don't own Facebook. Anything can happen on Facebook. You can lose your page, you can lose your profile. And I mean, they're shrinking organic growth and stuff all the time. You've basically got zero organic growth. So you don't have any control over what Facebook's going to do next, but you have control over a website, and that's where you need people to be looking for you and finding you.
That's great, and great answers there, because I think it does split debate. There is debate about it, and a lot of people don't like being on Facebook. They don't like being on other platforms. They don't like being on third-party platforms because it's like they don't own the data, etc., etc. But
the challenge today, though, is that a lot of businesses don't actually have an adequate web presence that is really sort of cohesive and concise and tells them about the business. A lot of businesses just use it as sort of a brochure and a
like a business card.
Yeah, but honestly, that realistically, that's a small portion of the buyer's process as well. So, are you actually creating that engagement level where it's more than just a brochure website? So I think that's where a lot of businesses can improve upon.
And I reckon that brings us to the next question. Sorry, Ash, did you want to say something?
No, I would agree with Doyle now.
Yeah. That brings us to the next question then. If you do believe, as part of your general business strategy or your marketing strategy, that websites are going to be really useful for what you do and the type of business you have, and you can create a coherent strategy with it that makes sense to people and sells the message that you're trying to create then. What do we do with it? What do we do? And we can't talk forever. Obviously, we could spend a whole week. We could be here all week talking about websites, couldn't we? About what you could do. There is so much you can do with websites. But
the main thing in my mind is you have to have the pieces that are going to sort of continue the conversation, right? Continue the discussion, continue their discovery, continue the story. So you kind of have to move them past just contact me or buy my SHIT stuff kind of thing. You have to kind of make it part of that journey and make it part of that your whole ecosystem. So it's not just one stop; it's a continuation.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to come in there, Beck?
Like I said, I think you need to be blogging, and I know a lot of people hate blogging, but I think you're missing out if you're not. I've had lots of clients in the past, and I don't work terribly much with these people anymore because I don't feel like they get the return from my effort and their investment. That they get the website, they put it up, and that's it.
They wait for the phone to ring, and that's it. It never rings.
Yeah, it doesn't ring. Google's getting smarter. SEO is getting smarter. But if you're not telling Google, hi, I'm a massage therapist from Yeronga and I work with pregnant women, Google's not going to know. So this is where your blog comes in. You can use your blog or additional pages on your website to be telling people and Google exactly what you do, so that if a pregnant woman, for instance, in Yeronga wants a massage, they can find you.
Yes, you're the one that is visible. You're the one that they see first, or definitely look the best to want to ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So blogs, great thing, but they do need a lot of investment. Like you say, it's not something you can just stick up there and expect it to do the job. You've got to kind of talk about Google and get it search engine optimized really well in order for all the keywords to come up when someone searches, and that's quite a skill, right?
It is, and it takes a lot of work to be able to do that. Yeah. And that's where I think, again, a lot of businesses, if they started with a content plan and just sort of had an overall strategy, then it becomes a little bit easier because at least you know what you're going to talk about. So I agree 100% that you have to blog because that's how Google finds you. And if Google doesn't know you, then do you actually exist, right? But if you have sort of a plan to say, here on this month I'm going to talk about this, and on that month I'm going to talk about that, at least it fills up, a good portion. And it doesn't have to be everything, but if you could say not schedule, but sort of plan ahead about 60 to 75%, you're going to make your whole job of being in business a heck of a lot easier. So
for sure.
And also focusing on how each piece of your content works up to your actual paid services, because I mean, if I'm a web designer, I can talk about copywriting. I have done copywriting before, but it doesn't actually lead up to one of my services, so there's not really that much point. I'm better off leaving that to somebody who sells copywriting to write about, and while I'm focusing on the stuff that does lead up to my paid services. So yeah, you need to be focused on how your blog content works with your services, how that all fits in together, and that's where your strategy comes in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You have to tell that story from one end to the other, right? How do you actually address the challenges that your business or that your customer is looking for, that your audience is looking for?
Yes.
I think apart from the blogging, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
No, go ahead, Dash.
No, what I'm saying is, apart from the blog, which is a very important part of the website, you need to keep your website up to date. You need to be updating it. The pages need to be, you don't need to have a static page, as everyone would understand. Google does track you on that also. So if you are not updating your website, the web pages, even if it's just the home page, Google would not put you in the list of searchable websites. And I always tell my clients, if they want to increase their presence, increase their share of revenue, I tell them that if you see an advertisement in a TV once in a month, people are not going to remember you. It's not going to work. So you have to be there in front of your clients, potential clients, every now and then. Now that is where that social media marketing comes into picture, apart from what you do with your website.
Yes.
Yeah, Google is like Santa Claus. They know if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
Yes. But yes, it has to be part, like we were saying, it has to be part of a bigger strategy. To get traffic to your website, you can't just rely on Google, can you? Because there are lots of other methods to get traffic to your website. Do you want to talk about any of those other options?
Information on SEO recently, or not SEO, about Google search. And they're saying that a huge chunk, nearly 50%, 48 I think it was, of searches actually don't result in any kind of click. So either people are being given enough information on that Google search page with that little block of description text, or they've decided that the content, that what they've searched is actually not what's going to get them the results. So that's a huge chunk of people that aren't actually clicking through at all.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
And also the numbers that I've been familiar with are similar to that. Like, there's only about 3% of people, of your audience really, that's actively ready to buy from you. So you've got what I call the 67% that people are still in that journey stage. They're still in that discovery, where they're not even aware sometimes that you do that, or that that's sort of a challenge for them. So we kind of have to advance people towards that, and that's why we need to use our website as one piece of that, but our whole digital ecosystem towards how do we progress them from the 67% into the 3% that are actually going to pick up the phone and call or use the contact us page, or they're ready to do business with you. So you help them along that journey. So away they go.
Yeah, and you really need to make it easy for them to get in contact with you and to make an appointment to talk to you. So many times I go to people's websites and they've got a phone number or whatever, and it's not clickable, or they've got no email address, and they've just got a contact form. And how do I even know that contact form is actually going through to a real person?
Yeah, well, I've sent endless messages through contact forms, and I never hear back from people. And then I find another way of contacting them. They say, I never received it. I think, it's about that. That's what I find is that problem. A lot of testing.
Yes.
People create websites, but they don't actually test that the things, the buttons, the connections actually work. And that really does put people off.
One of the other points which we are doing right now, the video ads or video marketing, it's a big part, and the study is that 1 billion hours of video, 1 billion minutes of video every day is put on YouTube. And that is where the new platform is going. I have even heard Facebook executives saying that by 2021 or 2020, their whole platform will be video based. There will be no text. Now, I don't know how they're working on it. I'm sure they will be working on something, but that is what they're thinking of. So which also takes you to the
sorry, go ahead.
Which takes you to the point to the fact that apart from all of what we are saying, we are talking of blog, we are talking of digital marketing. We need to think of tools like a video editing tool, which could potentially be used to get people on your website by having the right content for them in place.
Sure, and more people, certainly I am, embedding their videos on their website too, in terms of having more interesting content, sticky content to keep people on there for longer, right?
Yeah, and if you look at platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn and obviously Be Live and that sort of thing, that's really the trend that we're seeing, is that it is becoming more of a video type of marketplace, but at the same time, the videos still have to connect, they still have to add value as well. So it has to be very, it still has to be focused on that and how you can actually do that. So
it's still very new, isn't it? It's still very new technology, and people are getting used to knowing what works and still experimenting, still in the experimental stage, aren't we, in terms of what to do with video? Really.
Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, you have to add value, and you have to make sure that it talks about that journey, continues that, that exploration and that discovery of how you're going to help them with their challenges and their pains and problems and that sort of thing. So that's the key ingredient, really.
Absolutely. Anything else you particularly think are important that you would expect someone to want to have or need to have on a website to be able to grow their business?
I really, really need to see your pricing. And I know this is a bit of a controversial topic. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But for me, I want to at least see a ballpark. I get that a lot of services can't give me an exact quote, and that's fine. But you can tell me, okay, this is going to cost between this and this, and I can go away and say, okay, I can afford that, or no, I can't afford that. I need to look for someone else. So yeah, even just depend on.
Yeah, I think it does depend on. You do have to, sometimes be careful with that, but depends on the type of service. Obviously, products are different, where it's widget A for X dollars or software A for Y dollars or that sort of thing. But if it's sort of more services based, there obviously is not necessarily variability, but perhaps that's just a sales conversation that you have to have with that customer at that point in time too. So when they're ready for it.
I think there's definitely debate on that, because I found that if I didn't put my prices on, people called and we had a conversation and we built rapport. And then once you built rapport with someone, you actually tend to buy from them. Whereas if you're popping around on prices only, it gets to be who can charge the least amount.
Yeah, but something like, the software as a service type thing, those are very specific and very clear, as you get this software and you get these bonuses, right? And we've all seen them. It's like pick option A, B, or C, which is very easy because A is whatever, and they usually focus you in on trying to get the most value out of you for option B. So, so that gives you something to look at and say, this is what it's going to cost. So,
but
that's when
options.
You're comparing. It's when you're comparing apples to apples. It's like, okay, well, this software provider does this for this amount, right? And away you go.
And I've seen a split difference as well regarding pop-ups. People like them, some people hate them. You might hate them, but they do. Sorry, Doyle?
Regarding what? I missed that.
Pop-ups on your website. To stop them from disappearing, creating that urgency to say, hey, stop off. Are you sure you really want to leave here right now?
Those are annoying. Yeah, those are going away. Who knows exactly, but you have to create an experience, and I think that's sort of one of the points that we didn't actually cover here, is that with the website, you have to create that experience that allows for people to enjoy it too, right? And it can't be something annoying where you're sticking this in their face and putting that over there and, making them go through these hoops and that sort of thing. So think of it that way, is if you're creating a great experience that you would enjoy, as your customer, then that's something that you can look forward to building for your customer as well. So,
sure.
I think there's a lot of really bad etiquette around pop-ups. They're timed so poorly. You've just come to this website and you've read the first line as a pop-up.
Yeah,
I've been on sites where there's 2 and 3 pop-ups and I'm gone. If you're doing that to me before I even know who you actually are, then I'm not really sure we're going to be a good fit.
It feels a little bit like they're trying a little bit too hard to me sometimes.
Well, it's an act of desperation, quite honestly, in my mind.
Yeah.
Like if people aren't really interested in what you have, which is fine. Look, not everybody's going to be your customer.
Of course.
But, then that's okay. But if you can continue the conversation without being annoying, then, hey, that's better for you in the long run.
Yeah, because you do actually want them to come back. You
don't want to annoy them.
Correct. What do you think about pop-ups,
Don't be
Ash?
annoying.
Depends on the business. So I have an event management company who we work with. Now they have got events coming up now and then. And people who go to the businesses, they know that they are in that business. So they want to, when people come into the website, they want to have a show of what the next event is. Now, for such a case, it makes sense. But if you're browsing through a normal website and you're going through the details of what they do, and if a pop-up comes up just like that, it is annoying. I would completely agree with Beck and Joel. But if a business like an event management business or maybe a travel business as an example, tour and travel operator, they have a package deal which they think is worth the price. And I know because if I'm going to their website, I'll be going there for a reason. I will be looking for travel deals. Now, if I come out with something like that and I try to engage the customer by looking at it and clicking on it, it's worth it. Otherwise, no point.
There is a lot of research to say they work. I don't know how good that research is, but
I want to see more recent research because I think we're just going back to these older studies that say, well, obviously they say the same thing because they're the same old studies that we've been looking at for ages. I want to see new research that says pop-ups work or pop-ups don't work because I don't think they actually do work as well as they used to. I mean, people get sick of the same old techniques and they don't work as well. Is this the case with pop-ups? Are we relying on these things because of old research rather than what's actually working now?
Yes, awesome. I want to get a little bit ninja now because there's a lot of flows you can do prior to getting people to your website and afterwards. And there's these little things now called pixels that LinkedIn and Facebook allow you to stick on your little cookies that you can put on your websites. So you can get people from Google to your website, and then there you can retarget them via these pixels on Facebook advertising. Do you know a lot about that? Is that any of yours forte?
Yeah, it's a tracking. Yeah, it's a little tracking cookie or pixel, as they call it. So it's just so that you can then, as a business, if they came to your site and what pages they came to and that sort of thing. So it allows you to sort of focus that conversation. So look, I think it's a good thing because it allows you just to do that. So you're not annoying your audience. You're very specific. If they've showed some interest and kind of continued from your website onto a specific page that has a pixel code, then that's a good thing, right? And then you can serve them up with some additional information related to that specific outcome. So I think it reduces the randomness of it.
Yeah.
It goes back to something we were talking about. I think it was Ash who said that people need to see you multiple times. There's something marketing that says you need 8 touches, so they need to see you 8 times before they're interested in committing to what you do. So this gives you the opportunity to go from one random touch where they've just seen you in their Facebook feed to a bit more targeted as you go along, so you can keep popping up and keep reminding them that, hey, you were interested in this. Are you still interested in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's from the zero moment of truth, actually, from Google, and they looked at that and said, what does it take to get somebody to that buying position? And it's about 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4 different platforms. So that's your job as the business owner, is to help sort of create that opportunity to have those conversations and to understand that activity for those 7 hours, 11 touch points, or 4 platforms. So, yeah.
And as I said.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, and as I said, people will come to your website searching for you through Google or through some other platforms, and they are there for a specific reason. Now, if somebody comes to your website once or twice in a month, as an example, and still don't give you business or don't engage with you, you still have that pixel. If you have the pixel installed, you know who is coming to your website. At least as a future reference point, you can contact back with them. And it integrating with Facebook is good because you can actually see the person who is coming, when is he coming, what was his intention.
Yes, and I like the fact that you can keep that conversation flowing. They came for a reason, even if it's to come to an opt-in page, but decided when they got there, I'm not ready for that yet. But then you can show them something a little bit warmer in your kind of their newsfeed, which says, "Hey, I'm still interested in working with you. How do you fancy just a bit more of a conversation?" And so I like that conversational aspect of it that gets them talking back with you. You know.
Yes, you have to have the environment that really kind of creates that opportunity to have those conversations, and that's really about what it is at the end of the day. It's creating those conversations that you can continue into a sales conversation as well. So
yeah, we mentioned there though about it allows you an opportunity to see who potentially is engaging with you, right? But a lot of people I find are not interested in the metrics. They don't have Google Analytics on there. They may have a pixel on there, but they don't actually spend time looking at who has been engaging with them. And it's kind of it feels like a missed opportunity if you're going to do that.
It certainly can be.
At least you've got that information that you can go back if you decide that you do need it. I know a lot of people that haven't had a pixel or any kind of analytics, and so they can't even go back and look in the future when they are in. Yeah. So at least there's a step forward if you've got it.
It really helps paint. It helps paint that picture really, and that with something like Google Analytics, you can see basically what I call patterns, right? It's what are people doing there? What are their behaviors that they're exhibiting? You know, what are they watching? What are they reading? And if you can understand those patterns, then that really sort of helps you create that experience, that environment, those conversations that are really important for that person at that particular point in time. So,
yes.
Yeah. And then you've got things like heat maps, which you can look at. It's a visual representation of where people have scrolled down your page and where they've clicked and things like that. So you can see, okay, well, they're getting down to here. What's causing them to stop? And it gives you the opportunity to tweak things and make them work a bit better.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because that's important too. It's about the experimentation of knowing what's working and what's not, looking at the metrics, seeing where people are getting to, what they're interested in, but why are they not taking that next action, isn't it? And then it gives you that opportunity to say, look, well, maybe my copy is not correct. Maybe I'm not speaking in the right way, or maybe the image I've put on there is putting them off or something like that. And you can start experimenting then and changing things around, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at my website at the moment. I've got a new offering that I've been playing with, but it's not really converting. So I need to go in and have a look. And I think it's the language. So that's what I'm going to have to play with. And that's what you need to do. Even if you've had your website professionally built, you do need to go back in and see what's working, what's not working, and make some changes and see if that makes a difference to, the conversion rate.
And Beck, I think taking your point forward, I'm 100% sure that all the websites, at least in Brisbane or otherwise, 30% of those websites would not be doing all that. They might 30% would be doing, and 70% would not be doing. So, which is a big gap in the industry because they are not utilizing their digital footprint.
Yes, absolutely.
Which could potentially give that 70% could potentially give them business, but they are not using it. It's an irony, though.
So there's a lot of people
thousands of dollars on the website, but not use the website actually.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of challenges there. Hey, Karen, I'm not getting a very good signal. I think I might have to bow out. So I'm not.
No worries. We're just about wrapped up, though. Doyle, so is there anything else you wanted to add before we close today?
I think it's just important to look at again those factors. Are you creating a great experience? Are you creating an environment? And are you able to sort of build that as part of your ecosystem as well?
Yeah.
It's one piece. The website is one piece of all the things that you need to know. So
that's
where
good.
it's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, that is important. It's not the be all and end all. It is one part of the big jigsaw.
Exactly.
But an important one for some people, as we've said.
Yeah.
Awesome, Do. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, and nice meeting everybody.
It's been awesome that you could join us.
All right. Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, so the last thing, I guess, another question that I guess get asked a lot, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this or not, but there's these kind of out-of-the-box type platforms that are providing things like Wix and things like this that are providing a website. Oh, we're getting laughs already. Where it gives people the idea that they can do it themselves, right? And that this is a common question: should I do Wix or should I do a WordPress site? What's your view on that?
Even if you're making a website for your dog, don't use Wix or your kid for that matter. Wix is good for you to understand how it can be done, but if it is a professional small business, even if it's a one-person business, as I said at the start, Wix might not be the right platform to sustain on. It might be a good one to have a one-page website to start with. It's not a platform that you can sustain your business on. And that is what I have been telling people, is it's good to know how to do a website.
Sure.
You have site builders in, say, for example, GoDaddy, which is much better than Wix.
Okay.
You use that rather than a Wix. And that's my personal opinion, because I just don't like Wix, because you're stuck with it.
It's very limited, isn't it?
It's a third-party It's a third-party platform that you have no control over. A while back, and they may have changed these terms, but a while ago, if you put a contact form on your Wix website and someone contacted you through your Wix website, Wix then took that email address and contacted your customers. That is
that's awful.
That's just incredible.
Yes.
So you don't have control over the terms. They can change that at any minute, and you're at their mercy, basically.
Yes.
And again, I think that a lot of reasons which people use Wix is basically they want to cut corners in terms of paying, say, $100 to start with, but it's not worth it. Believe me. And then there are so many businesses who have spent a lot of dollars on platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or Shopify for that matter, even though it's a good platform to sell your stuff on, but you get stuck. And the beauty of WordPress, and I would say Beck will agree with me, WordPress, you have total control of your content, of your business, of your plugins, and it's all under your control. Even if you want to, you can have your whole website downloaded. That's a big thing. If tomorrow I want to create my whole website in, say, a .NET platform or a PHP platform, you don't have to recreate the wheel and start from scratch. So that is what people should know. It's good to do it on your own and not use Beck and Ash for the websites, but overall it's not worth it.
Like you say, I think we said earlier, it's like a business card, basically. It's some way to have a domain name, to host a domain name, and that's for some people enough, isn't it? That's all they want. They just want to be able to say, I've got a domain name, here's more information. If you need it, go and have a look at it. But it's incredibly limited in terms of creating lead pages.
That takes me to the domain name part of it. Now, a business has a domain name based on which he has a website. He or she has a website. Now, how should the domain name be? People want to have domain name, like, as an example, I will tell you. When I started my company, I had Knowledge Partner Professionals as a company name. And my domain name, if I would have, in a normal thinking process, knowledgepartnerprofessionals.com.au, which is bloody a big name.
It is long.
So I got stuck with knowledgepartnerp.com. Even then, it was a big name. And then I had to roll it down to kppro.com.au, even though it is a .com.au now. It's still worth remembering.
Yes.
Otherwise, people get stuck with their company names but don't think of a brand name. They don't think of branding attached to it. And that is where I would suggest people to have a look, do some research, and go ahead with a smaller, shorter version of website which people can remember.
Yes, because a lot of it is about remembering. There's so many websites, and it's like it's about if you're on radio or you're at some event and you say you want to be able to say it. It's nice and catchy. People remember it.
And I had problem telling people my email address is ash.rana@knowledgepartner.p and then p.com. So I have gone through.
You do need a business card. Here, just take that, right?
Which takes me to the other point. Sorry, I'm just trying to kind of taking it a bit further. Which takes me to the other point of an email address. So should you use a Gmail email address or a Yahoo or a Hotmail?
That's a common question. Common question.
Yes. Yeah. I think even if you have to pay $6 a month per user, ash@kppro.com.au is better than ash@gmail.com.
Yes.
From a business perspective.
It just sounds a bit more professional, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Good job.
Beck, your take on that?
I totally agree. Absolutely. And I have a lot of trouble convincing people that it just looks so much more professional, especially when I've got people that have actually still got Hotmail addresses. I didn't know Hotmail still existed. It totally does. And people are still using it for their businesses. And it's not professional. If you're trying to present yourself as a professional in your field, you need to look. I mean, it's like wearing tracksuit pants to a business meeting. I mean, that might be okay in some fields, but for most of us, tracksuit pants and thongs aren't really going to get you where you want to go.
Yeah, so, unless you're a fitness fanatic and you're there to learn how to do yoga better or something.
You're wearing thongs.
Tomorrow is the yoga day, so if not sure yoga day is tomorrow, so they can do it.
Oh, is it tomorrow? Awesome. Well, we're quite on time then, aren't we? There's also, somebody mentioned Google now enable you to create a website. I don't know if anybody...
Google site. I haven't looked into that, but...
Google Cloud Platform is the extension of that same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. You would imagine with it being Google, it would be, certainly it would appear in their search pretty highly. You rank very highly.
Have you used it, Beck?
No. They keep prompting me. I've got Google My Business app on my phone. It keeps prompting me to set up my site, publish my site. No, I've already got one. I've put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But they have done quite a bit of work on that Google Cloud platform, which it is all connected to now. So it's a competitor of AWS. So you have your hosting, email, website, everything on that's GCP, Google Cloud platform. It's alternative to AWS, and a lot of business and so for people to know, if you are a small business, you pay a bit of an amount to Google to host it. But if you are a not-for-profit, charity organization, community organization, it's free. The email IDs are free. The hosting is free. But if you're a commercial business, a small business, then you have to pay an annual amount.
But it may be worth as an adjunct to something as well as if it kind of ranks well in Google. Maybe. Something to look into. Hey, well, it's been awesome today. It's been awesome. We've done some simple stuff. We've done some ninja stuff. We've kind of really covered the ground here today, and I think it's been really useful for people, who are still lost in it all, lost and worried about, do I need a website? If I do, how do I do it? Why do I do it? Etc. Etc. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for contributing to all that stuff. It's been awesome to hear your knowledge. Where can people get hold of you again if they want more information?
I am at beckwmedia.com.au. It's pretty easy and short.
Pretty easy to find you, and you're certainly around a lot on Facebook.
Facebook, LinkedIn. I have a Twitter account too that I don't really use.
What about you, Ash?
kppro.com.au, as I was mentioning some time back.
Of course, kppro.
It's kppro.com.au. Simple.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. I will put them on the show notes after the show and spread that around quite a bit for you guys. Have a great day down there in Brisbane. Hope it's
you too.
Sunnier than it is up here today.
Good to meet you guys.
All the best. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.